not usually the first speaker, but since we've had a few changes, I'm going to have all the students come up in front. Usually we take a picture at the end, and then all the parents can come up. But since we've had a few changes, I'm going to have the students come up, stand here, and maybe one of my DAR helpers can kind of arrange them by height and so forth. And then I'd like to, I should have given it to the students, but if the students will give me their email, I can send a picture of the individual photo that Kathy will take, and the one that I take here of the whole group, and I will send them to you by email, but I've got to get the students' emails, so I'll probably pass that around too. But so if I could get all of you students, and obviously we're going to have the tall people in the back.
Okay, as Regent of the John Alden chapter, it's my privilege to welcome all of you, both the members of our John Alden chapter and guests, and school officials, as well as parents, and most of all, our good citizens. This is a big day for us, and before we begin, we'll follow this program pretty much. And before we begin that, though, I did want to mention that our website a printout is over on the table, if any of you want to look at that. And if you want to get that, that address is on the bottom. So I want to thank the ladies who did that website, but also I want to thank Joan Rogers and all her committee for planning this event. It is our biggest event of the year, I think. And so I congratulate the good citizens, and I want to thank both the parents and teachers who have invested so much in these good citizens. I know what your parents have invested, so I can appreciate that, and I know that parents appreciate the fact that their students are being recognized. At our monthly meetings, we feel very privileged to have the freedom to recite our rituals, and so I would ask you all to join me in reciting these rituals. And we will begin with the pledge to the flag, and we do the pledge to the flag, the American's Creed, and the preamble to the Constitution. The pledge to Michigan is written on your paper, so maybe we'll do that too. I would ask you to stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our American's Creed. I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrifice their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. And our preamble to the Constitution is written on your page also. We, the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. And we will also, we don't always do this at our meetings, but the Michigan Pledge of Allegiance is written on your page also, so we will do that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Michigan and to the state for which it stands, two beautiful peninsulas united by a bridge of steel, where equal opportunity and justice for all is our ideal. Thank you. You may be seated, and we will continue with this program the way it's written.
We'll do the invocation. Creator God, we are grateful to be here today to honor these incredible young citizens. Bless them, and may each of us receive inspiration from them to be good citizens who serve our nation and our community as well as we are able. Bless our nation and our leaders. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I too welcome our Good Citizen School winners, your parents and sponsors, our DAR members, and all our guests. Today, as we recognize our school winners, you will each receive a DAR Good Citizen pin that you will be able to wear the rest of the school year. By having this recognition this fall, you will be able to put this accomplishment on your resume for college. This year, all 12 schools in our area have chosen a school good citizen. We thank all the schools for participating and for helping us share this memorable occasion with all these young people. After reading about the many accomplishments that all of you have already made, I am convinced that your schools did an excellent job in choosing each one of you. You are a marvelous group of young men and women. It is a pleasure to meet each one of you today. The student that is selected as the school's DAR Good Citizen must have the qualities of dependability, which includes truthfulness, loyalty, and punctuality; service, which includes cooperation, courtesy, and consideration of others; patriotism, which includes unselfish interest in family, school, community, and nation; leadership, which includes personality, self-control, and the ability to assume responsibility. This fall, you were selected by your faculty and/or your senior class to represent your school. The essay for this year had the title, Our American Heritage and Our Responsibility for Preserving It, with the focus question, how does one's personal heritage affect one's duties to our nation? These students didn't know until they sat down to write what the title would be. They were allowed 2 hours to write their essay of not more than 550 words. They were allowed to use a computer, as long as it was internet disabled, and they were allowed to use spell check or a dictionary. 3 judges, who were not DAR members, were selected to review the essays and determine a winner for the chapter. Along with the essays, the judges also looked at each student's grades, high school interests, activities, and accomplishments, contributions to the community, and extracurricular activities such as 4-H, church, a part-time job. Each student had been asked to describe why the 4 qualities of a DAR Good Citizen are important and how they try to exhibit them in their life. The judges reviewed all of the above, and they came to a decision as to which one of the entries would represent our John Alden chapter. Today's winning essay will be sent on to the state level. The state winner will receive a $250 scholarship or bond, and also a special state Good Citizen pin and certificate. The state winning essay then goes on to compete in a division group. There are 8 divisions. Our division includes Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Michigan. The winner from each division group receives a cash award of $500. The 8 division winners then compete at national level. The national winner is invited to Washington, D.C. to attend the DAR Continental Congress and will be awarded a $3,000 scholarship, an inscribed silver bowl, and a certificate. The national second place winner will receive a $1,000 scholarship and certificate, and the third place winner will receive a $750 scholarship and certificate. We will announce our chapter winner after all of the good citizens are introduced. Our winner does not yet know of his or her selection. We hope that this year's chapter winner advances to state, and perhaps our division group and national level. Someone will. Perhaps it will be our chapter winner. I know we have some previous Good Citizen Award people in our audience. Our speaker, Scott Patchen, was a good citizen. One of our counselors, Amy Boxey, was a good citizen, and one of our good citizen parents, Laura Syra, the mother of James Syra, was a good citizen. If there are anyone else, I'd like you 3 and anyone else who was a former good citizen to please stand up. And let's see, I didn't get someone's, who else? I see 4 people. Who didn't I mention?
Karen Solomon.
Karen. Well, congratulations to all of you. If anyone would like to say a few words, that would be fine. But I'm glad that you are too. So, congratulations to all 4 of you. And now, our Regent Miriam Harder will introduce our guest speaker.
Well, I've known Scott since he was born, and I met his parents, I think, before I was married. His grandfather, his mother's father, and my father were both school superintendents. So Sylvia and I became immediate friends, instant friends. And I taught Scott in 3rd and 4th grade Sunday school, I believe. And I remember his enthusiasm when we were going to do a little newspaper of the First Century Times. And I kind of wondered what Scott's pizza joint had to do with the first century during Jesus' time. But Scott explained to me that the name of his pizza joint was going to be Romans Pizza. And so the Romans were about to destroy Jerusalem at that time. I also remember Scott playing basketball, giving the talk for his brother's wedding. I remember that. Attending his wedding in the UP. But most of all, I remember being present when he was selected as the Dow High Good Citizen. I know that Scott has fulfilled all of our expectations, and it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce him and as our speaker for today. So would you welcome with me Scott Patchen?
Quite a memory, Mrs. Hart. I'm very impressed. When people start bringing up things you don't remember, you know, like, oh my goodness, I got to work on my memory a little bit. So I remember in 1984 coming here, and I sat here much like you, as I was a DR, a Good Citizen Award. And I remember, one thing I remember about that day was that my grandma came and my mom came, so there were 3 generations present. My grandma was a member. I don't remember exactly how I felt about leaving school that day, but after watching my son experience his senior year last year, and of all the different reasons he came home not to go to school with, I'm guessing you probably are pretty happy about being here today. Not only the award, but you get a few hours of a break. after Mrs. Harder called, and by the way, I'll give you a little tip. If any one of your parents' friends allowed you to call them by their first name, do so before you're 30, because after that, you just can't change anymore. So it's been many years. After Mrs. Harder called me and told me about this, and I was very excited to come, I went to my own mother and I said, Mom, I remember who came to the banquet, and I remember a little bit about it, but could you tell me anything more? She goes, well, Scott, you remember the speaker, of course. And I said, Mom, I don't think so exactly, but could you? She goes, well, Henry Hart, of course, came here to speak, and he was awesome. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, and I wanted to argue with her. So this is hard for me, but in front of the cameras, with the cameras rolling, and with my mother in the audience, I want to say, Mom, you have a better memory than I, and you were right. That felt good, and I'm sure I'm going to be reminded of that for many years to come. But I guess the other humbling fact to that moment is the fact that I realized I didn't remember who the speaker was. And I have a strange feeling in 30 years, there's a good chance Scott Patchen will not be on the tip of your tongue. So a second thing will happen to me, and a promise I'll make you today. The title for this talk came out just like that. And it was Nice Matters. And I knew exactly what I wanted to say to you. And I knew exactly the things I wanted to maybe plant as seeds for you as you take forth your great and unbelievable talents. I mean, that's why you're here today, because you're distinguished in what you do, and more importantly, you're distinguished in who you are. And if I can leave you with maybe a few tips, that's my goal. So, before I go on to my topic, which is, I don't know if many of you tried to do the spell check on it, like why is that thing in front of the word, and why is there no space? Hashtag Nice Matters. How many people in here have a Twitter account? Okay, I figured we'd have multi-generations, so let me do a little quick Twitter basics for you. Twitter is a tool that people use to communicate today. It was actually invented, the one thing I do share with you is invented in both of our lifetimes. Twitter is a tool much like the U.S. mail, and you're going to see I gave you a little bit of a sheet here that you have a few little tips on. One is, as each one of you has an address that you receive your physical mail each day, Twitter you have an address. It's called a username or an ID. And if there's an @ sign in front of it, that means that's your unique name. And everyone in the world that does this has a unique name, and it delivers messages to them. The other # sign in front of a word allows you to make a significance to a certain word, and it's called a hashtag. And so oftentimes you'll hear me say hashtag and then a word. It means that the # sign is called a hashtag. And there's 140 characters that you can use in Twitter to communicate with people. So let me give you a couple historical examples, because oftentimes people say, you know what? Twitter and the way they talk nowadays, we used to talk much deeper. 140 characters, that's not deep enough. Well, our country is built on slogans. Many people said famous things, and all we remember is maybe not exactly 140 characters, but close. And here's a couple of examples. Nathan Hale, right before he was about ready to be hanged by the British, said, I only regret that I have one life to give for my country. In Twitter, if Nathan Hale had made it through there, happened to be alive today, his name would be probably at Nathan Hale would be his user ID or his username. And the tweet would say, I only regret that I have one life to give for my country. And there might be a hashtag help, hashtag hurry, hashtag Connecticut. He was from the state of Connecticut, and this would allow everyone in the state of Connecticut to know that Nathan was, they needed to come to his aid. Another quote that's fairly famous from John Hancock he says, there, His Majesty can now read my name without his glasses, and he can double the reward on my head. If that were in Twitter, of course, his name would be at John Hancock, because he would have been the first one and the most important one. The quote would have been there, and it would have said hashtag independence, hashtag Massachusetts. So you can kind of get a sense that Twitter is a way in which we communicate, and it's not that much different than the way we've always communicated. We tend to like things that stick to us. And so there's a couple of examples. So I got 3 points for you today, and that's it. And the first one I'm going to say is things that I've learned, or things that I wish I would have known, or I've learned since I walked out of here almost 30 years ago as an award winner of this. And the first point I'm going to say is to learn how to say no. About 10 years into my professional career, I started getting into training, and I started getting into working and facilitating in a corporate environment. And I can remember talking to a friend, and I said to him, you know, Steve, I really worry that I'm going to be too hard on these people, that they're not going to like me. And I remember Steve looking at me and goes, are you kidding me? You can be as direct and as mean as you want, and they'll probably still like you, because you're too soft. And I can remember hearing that, and over the course of the years, I don't say that because everyone likes me, because that's not true. And I don't say that because I like everyone, because that's not true. But what I learned over the course of time is I have no problem walking into a room or meeting a new person or finding a person who's maybe not by the other people and bring them into the group. That has never been an issue. People like to be around you. It was clear by reading about you and all the activities you're involved in, people like having you around them. You're nice. What comes with that, though, is that people will always be asking you to join. And I'm sure you've already experienced, there's probably many people out here have experienced that certain activities you go into and you come home from tired. And then certain activities you go to, you pour a lot of energy into it, and you come home and you still have energy to go. That's what we call passion. At some point in time, you're going to figure what that is for you, and maybe you already have. You'd be a lot farther along than I was. I didn't learn that until probably a little bit too late. But I learned it, and it's helped me to kind of focus in on the things I care most about. So one of your gifts is the fact that people like you and they want you around. Just remember that at some point in time, you're going to have to learn, where is it that I want to say yes? Where is it that I'm going to make an impact? And then at that time, it's okay to say no, because you're saying yes to a lot of very important things. The second thing I'd like to share with you is to make face-to-face your tool. There's a psychologist, Sherry Turkle, and she actually wrote a book and was on the cover of Wired magazine. I don't know if anybody reads Wired, in 1998. And she was talking a lot about how technology was really going to help build relationships and the whole social structure, how it was going to enhance it. Most recently, she wrote a new book called Alone Together. And in the decade plus following her initial research, she learned a few things. And Stephen Colbert, she was on his show, and he asked her a question. He said, Sherry, doesn't all those 100 bits of information all strung together eat something kind of big? And doesn't that build a relationship? And her response probably would have been one thing in 1998, but she said, when he asked me that after a decade or more of research, I said no. She goes on to say, technology can gather info, it can issue general reminders of people that we love them and we miss them. And I've experienced that since my son's gone off to college. My ratio of conversations to texts to emails is probably 20 or 30 to 1. But we still have this relationship that it continues to build, but it wasn't built on that. I actually love seeing my kids use technology. See, to tell you how old I was, long distance used to cost money. And I know many people are laughing, and the person who paid the bill usually controlled the long distance. So I very rarely got calls, but nowadays I watch, and it's amazing to watch my own kids go around me to their grandparents, to their aunts, to their uncles, to their cousins, and have a relationship. So I share with you that make face-to-face your tool because I hear the words they said about you. Enthusiastic, concerned, outstanding, thoughtful, compassionate, committed, honest, and kind. Those are great words. Those are words, the power in those words is when you're face-to-face with people, when they can not only hear you, but they can see you, and they can understand you, and they can get that passion and that excitement. Nowhere in your comments, anyone who nominated you, at least the ones I saw, said this person has more followers than anyone else in the school. This person has, they're constantly being retweeted. They're the most retweeted student we have in our high school. No one said that. Now you might be that, and congratulations, but that's not why you're here. So remember that, and remember #NiceMatters. The last point I'm going to give you is called store gratitude. It's maybe it's hopefully not today, but there's going to be times in your life when you're out of gas, and I think we've all felt that. In the last 30 years, I've seen a few great days, and Mrs. Harder mentioned I've seen graduations. My own graduation from high school and from college was nice. It was actually a relief. The college one was really nice to get out, so you look forward to that. I've seen, getting married was a great day. Having each one of my 4 children being there when they were born was a great day. Celebrating my parents' 50th anniversary was a great day. There's a lot of great days you're gonna have, and look forward to those. But I've also seen a few bad days. And in hindsight, the bad days you learn from, and you'll take a few things with you, and that's been good. But some of them hurt. And if I look back on some of them made me question whether being nice was the right strategy, whether putting relationships first was the right strategy. And one of my work is in corporate America, and you can almost call me the chief nice officer, because I find myself in these situations where you're just trying to help people talk to each other. And here's a couple things I've seen. I've learned that there's not enough appreciation being spent. And adults, that's an issue we have. And I think the number is like 20 or 30% of adults in companies have gotten some sort of appreciation in the last 6 months. But one of the things I've learned over the course of time is 3% of appreciation that is given, 3% of the time is given in written format. And when they go back and they ask the people who've gotten a note, 80% of those people still have that note 12 months later. So my message to you is to store gratitude. We all need a Nice Matters file. So I don't know if it's today, and I don't know what notes you're going to get today, but these are the notes over the course of time I've just kept. And they're fun to go back and read because they remind you on some of those days of what you're good at, because people are nice enough to write a note. So when someone gives you something like that, put it in a file and hold on to it, because it's special, and that person isn't necessarily going to be in front of you, but there's something special about the written word, and it kind of travels. So that's my last point, hashtag Nice Matters. So we've talked about 3 things today. We've talked about learning to say no. We've talked about making face-to-face your tool to build relationships, and we've talked about storing gratitude. And I guess I want to kind of wrap up with a couple quotes. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." He was a little bit before my time. Dennis Prager, he's still alive, he says, "The factor that most determines our happiness is gratitude. It is very simple. The more grateful you are, the happier you are." So I'm going to leave you with something. Each one of you has a card like this. On the front of it, it says Nice Matters. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Gratitude's a funny thing. Gratitude is something that once you send it out, it just kind of tends to come back in multipliers. So what I'm going to ask each one of you to do today, and this should take you all about 2 minutes, is for someone, maybe it's someone that's here that's taken time out of their day, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's somebody, but write them a note. Express some gratitude. If they don't know what Nice Matters means, that's a great time for you to explain technology to them and Twitter. So that ought to be kind of fun. And I really encourage you to do that. And for those of you who are out there, I didn't make every one of you do this, but I have a lot of extra cards that were printed out. So feel free afterwards to come up. These are custom made. You won't find them anywhere. It's called Nice Matters, and I'd ask you to do that. The second thing I'd ask you to do is, for those of you who are on Twitter, I've asked a bunch of friends to do this, and we're going to see how it works out. But if you tweet today, and by the way, for those of you who want to go home and sound cool, don't say Twitter-ing. It's tweeting. For those of you who go home today, send out a tweet of appreciation to someone, but put Nice Matters on it as a hashtag, and you'll begin to kind of see a conversation maybe streaming throughout the web for today. I guess the very last thing I would say to you is this, and it's a lesson I learned along the way. And oftentimes when someone does something nice for us, there's a lot of things we want to say, there's a lot of things we want to do. I feel like I was given a gift today to be given some time to come up and talk to you, and to actually have two of my kids and my mom and dad are here, so it's kind of a cool day, and I get to experience it with Mrs. Harder, who's been a longtime friend of mine. I learned a long time ago that when you're given such a gift, there's a very simple way to reciprocate, and that is with 2 words. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That was great. I'll pull it down just a bit. Under each student's chair is a goodie bag, which includes contributions from several of our local government people, from the Mackinac Center and the Farm Bureau. Many thanks to them for providing information on our state, our government, the U.S. Constitution, and a lot of other great information. Booklets, various informational brochures, and a Michigan map have been provided by the following: our U.S. Congressman, Dave Camp, State Senator John Molinar of the 36th District, State Representative Jim Stamas of the 98th District, State Senator Bruce Caswell of the 16th District, State Representative Kenneth Kurtz of the 58th District, and by the Mackinac Center. A ruler with all of the faces of our U.S. presidents and bookmarks with the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. flag and to the Michigan flag have been provided by our local Farm Bureau. Bookmarks, pencils, and a flag magnet have been provided by our local DAR chapter. And now, one at a time, I will call your name and school. Please come forward to my right with parents and sponsors too. As you come forward, I will tell about just a few of your high school activities, and they were many, so I chose some interesting ones, I think. Your parents may put your pin on you. You will receive a certificate and wallet card, and Kathy will take a picture of you. And I've already alerted John Reece that he's going to be the first one, so he knows where to stand now. So, I have to go to John. John Reece is a good citizen from Calvary Baptist Academy. His parents are Reverend Sam and Janet Reece, and his school sponsor is Dan Forbes. John is active in the youth ministry at his church. He participates in music, in singing as a soloist and in choirs, and as a band member. He has been active in leadership roles both in sports, soccer, and basketball, as well as in many other school activities. And what I would like to do is, after you're getting your pin, certificate, and picture, so Kathy, I would like each one of you to say a little bit, all the students, to say a little bit of what your future plans are after graduation. And sponsors and parents may say a few words too, if they would like to. Okay, John? Would you like to come up to the microphone?
Okay. Like she said, I'm John Reece from Calvary Baptist Academy. I'd like to thank you all for coming today, supporting us, and thanks to Daughters of the American Revolution for putting this on for us. For my future plans, I plan to attend college at Bob Jones University down in South Carolina, majoring in Bible, and hopefully then maybe I'll be able to go on and get my Master's of Divinity down there. I'd like to be a minister when I grow up. I want to do what I can to help others as best I can, spiritually and physically. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say that John is a very busy guy. That's why he's kind of first, because he's got to scoot out and get to a drama practice, because there's a drama team going out this coming week, and he's in that. And then there's also a choir singing then. He's singing a solo part with a 50-voice choir behind him. And then on Saturday, he's the goalie for our soccer team, and they're in contention for a state championship among Michigan Association Christian School teams. So yeah, he's a little bit busy. Yeah. And we will, as a school, will miss him a great deal. And he is a fine man, great character. You want to say anything yet? No? Okay, thanks.
Now, the next one, who also has to leave a little bit early, is James Syra. James Andrew Syra is the good citizen from Bullock Creek High School. I think I better pull the microphone down a little bit. He is the son of Craig and Laura Syra, and his school sponsor is Jennifer Brown. His coach, Shelley Disher, is also here today. James is in varsity cross country and varsity track and field. He is an excellent runner, setting a new school record and breaking his own record in cross country. He is a member of Creekers for a Cause. And I hope you don't mind mentioning, but James also has another family connection to DAR. His mother's grandmother was a DAR member. James?
Hey. Okay, is this loud? All right. I also wanted to thank the DAR and all the people who sponsored us today, especially my counselor for giving me this opportunity. Just want to thank you all because it's an honor for me to be here. I've done a lot of things, but I'm just hoping that I keep doing everything I can to help the community out, because as much as I've done, I think that there's more I can do, and I can't wait to do it. I'm planning to go to college to become a teacher in English, and also be a martial artist like my father and help teach martial arts, so I can help spread helping in the community that way too. But beyond that, I hope I can do my best to help out Midland and stay here in Midland and help out as much as I can. Thank you.
I'm Shelley Disher, and I have had the great opportunity to coach James in track and cross country, so it's been amazing to see his accomplishments the last 4 years and to see him break our school record and to lead his team to the state meet. He's going to be running tomorrow morning at Michigan International Speedway, so it's just been so cool to see his hard work pay off in that way. And I'm also his English teacher, and to see him interact in the high school with all the kids and to be such a community leader is really neat. So, thank you.
On behalf of James's father, his 3 brothers, and myself, we just want to thank the DAR and let you know that we are just so proud of him. He's such a great guy, and we're very proud of you.
Number 3 on the list, Drew Anthony Mojica, is a good citizen from Freeland High School. He is the son of Andrew and Susan Mojica, and his school sponsor is Marlene Lataki. Drew is a leader in varsity football, is in varsity track, and has found time to play in the symphony band. He has a variety of interests, from participating in a mission outreach through his church to attending the Science and Technology Explorer Post program.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to thank the DAR and my parents for always supporting me in everything I do, and my peers for, nominating me. So that's quite an honor. It's humbling, indeed. So my future plans are to attend SVSU and try to achieve my undergraduate degree in pre-physician's assistant, and then from there I'd go on, try to become a PA. So those are my future plans. I just love helping people and just want to try to make an impact as much as I can in the world. So thank you.
Drew is one of those young men that was very easy to recommend for this honor. Always participating, always willing, students leading students, football team, no matter where you look, you will see Drew participating in a positive way. If I had a daughter, that would be the kid I'd want her to bring home. Awesome kid.
Hello, everyone. I'm Drew's mother, and this is Drew's father, Andrew. Drew has two brothers older than him. This is the youngest one, graduating this year. Drew has always been a really good kid in every way. He's kind to everyone. He's always trying to help everybody. And everything he does it with great enthusiasm, and he does the best he can. And we're very, very proud of him, and we thank you so much for this honor, and we wish the best for everyone, all of you, and thank you very much.
Nicole. Nicole Solomon is the good citizen from Beaverton High School. She is the daughter of Brian and Karen Solomon, and her school sponsor is Daryl Phillips. Joe Pasalacqua, the school principal, is here with her today. Nicole has been involved with varsity volleyball and softball. She is active in her youth group at church. Nicole is a co-op at Mid-Michigan Medical Center and wants to pursue education in nursing.
Hi, like she said, I'm Nicole Solomon from Beaverton High School, and I would like to thank the DAR and my school faculty for nominating me for this award. My future plans after high school are to go to college, that I'm not sure which college yet, but to get my RN degree and hopefully then get my BSN and become a nurse.
I'll just say I have the pleasure of working with her now, and I see her grow up and talk to all these patients, because I'm a nurse too, so I work right with her in the morning, and she makes a huge impact on all the patients, so she's going to do awesome as a nurse.
You know, I want to think back to what Scott said. As a principal of high school, these are the days I'm thankful for. You know, it's a field trip for us to get away from all the hustle and bustle at the building and to come spend a day with these young folks and to hear the stories is just amazing. So I'm thankful. As a father of boys, they're unfortunately a little too young. Nicole, I'd be pleased if my sons were ever to bring a young lady around. She is a wonderful student, wonderful individual. She does everything in the athletics, the extracurriculars, NHS. I mean, this young lady does it all for us. Had the pleasure of seeing her grow up, you know, even from back in the days of middle school when her older sister was coming through. So, you know, she's a fine young lady, you know, will do great things. Sad to see her go. But again, I just want to thank you and good luck to all of you. Thanks.
Capri Jane Philhart, the good citizen from Coleman High School, is unable to be here today since she is on a school trip. She is the daughter of Ed and Lisa Philhart, and her school sponsor is Brian Cohn. Ellen LeBaire is the good citizen from Gladwin High School. She is the daughter of Cheryl Yankovic and John LeBaire, and her school sponsor is Julie Cameron. Her teacher, Courtney Vareland, is here with her today. Ellen was the first female to complete National Youth Leadership Training in the Lake Huron Area Council of the Boy Scouts of America. She has participated in many extracurricular activities through Key Club and Student Council, and is a member of the Science Club and choirs.
Hello everybody, I'm Ellen LeBaire, as Joan introduced me over here. And I just would like to thank all of you guys, the wonderful people from my high school, or just everyone that's been in my life and has influenced who I am today. And for the DAR, of course, for putting on this wonderful occasion and giving us all this opportunity to, achieve this award and all of that. I've known for a really long time that when I grow up, I want to make the world a better place. And at first, I thought that I wanted to do that through engineering and working with alternative energies and developing that. But I've come to realize that I like people a lot, and I like to work with them, and I like to make people happy and stuff like that. And so I think that I will be pursuing a career in public policy. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I've got my applications in, and I can't wait to start making people's lives better. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Courtney Vareland. I've had the pleasure of knowing Ellen for about 3.5 years now. I had her as a student in my class in personal relations, where the students learn about personal responsibility and they have to complete a community service project. And Ellen decided to do her project on walking dogs for an elderly couple down the street, and it kind of turned out where the dog wasn't there anymore, so she just went and visited the couple, and they really enjoyed talking to her. And she's just that way. Like she said, she's a people person, has always been that way. She is also the Key Club president for the Key Club, which I advise. And so I've gotten to take her to our conventions and everything else, and she's done so many leadership opportunities and projects she's completed by, leading the rest of the club into what we're doing. We're doing many different projects right now, and she's so great about getting new people there. She makes them feel welcome, and obviously is very personable, like I said, so I congratulate her on this, and she will do great things. I know that for sure. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, Ellen's mom. I just remember when she was going to go into preschool, and she wasn't too sure on her colors, but she could go up and just make friends with anybody. So I knew she was going to be just fine. And she's a great daughter and very active in school and church. So I'm very proud of her, and thank you for this award.
Mallory Diane Fogus is a good citizen from H.H. Dow High School. She is the daughter of Christine Fogus and Craig Fogus, and her school sponsor is Douglas Bradford. Also with her today is her principal, Pam Castle. Mallory volunteers her time with the Disability Network in the summer and works with special education students at school. She helped to create awareness of the cognitively impaired program. She is in leadership roles in basketball and lacrosse. Mallory found time to take a lead role in a school musical, and she was an MC for Ren Fair.
Hi, I'm Mallory Phobis from Dow High School, and I'd just like to take the time to thank the DAR and my parents and my school for giving me the tools I need to succeed and for allowing me to represent our school here today. In the future, I plan to major in neuroscience and minor in psychology. I don't know where yet, so we'll decide that soon, but this is quite an honor, and I'm very grateful for this experience. Thank you.
Doug Bradford, and I'm a counselor at Dow High, and I'm always in charge of putting together, getting our DAR citizen ready to go. So I didn't really know Mallory until we kind of went through this process, and it was really easy how she was nominated and picked by our staff after getting to know her. What a great kid who's always involved in stuff, just a great representative of outstanding class that we have, as all you are, because I know all the great kids in your classes and your school, so to be here, it's just a great honor to be picked for all of you. Mallory, congratulations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Craig Fogus. Mallory is my daughter. She's always been very focused on whatever she was working on at the time. She doesn't need a lot of direction. She is self-motivated. She will, I think, accomplish some very great things in her life. I'm very, very proud, and I'd like to thank DAR for recognizing my child. Thank you.
Let's see. Melissa S. Reeves is the good citizen from Meridian High School. She's the daughter of Sandy and Ray Reeves. Unfortunately, Melissa is ill today, but she is represented by her school sponsor, Amy Boxey. Melissa participates in varsity softball with state and local recognition and participates in varsity volleyball. She is a yearbook editor. She volunteers with her church. She works as a co-op at a physical therapy office. So let's see, is Amy still here? You want to come up and get her certificate? Thank you. Did you want to say anything about Melissa?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
The one thing that has always struck me about Melissa is that, and I'm sure that's true of many of you, but she's not one that wants the spotlight. You know, she kind of hangs back in the side, and but at the same time, her presence is just speaks volumes. She's such a great leader, as I know all of you are as well, and I just wish everyone the best. Thank you.
Nicholas Peter Sarafolia is a good citizen from Midland Christian School. He is the son of David and Rhonda Sarafolia, and his school sponsor is Laura Sweet. Nicholas has participated in the Adopt a Family program through his leadership in student council. He volunteers at his church, plays the piano, and volunteers to use that talent. He participates in music at school through being a pianist and choir member, and he has participated in drama for several years. Nicholas is a photographer and a small business owner.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming out today. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out, of course, and also the DAR for giving me this honor. For my future plans, I'm hoping to attend Covenant College down in Chattanooga, Tennessee to get my bachelor's degree in business, and after college, I hope to start my own business.
I'm Laura Sweet. I'm a teacher at Midland Christian School. I've known Nick since he was in 4th grade. I'd like to say back then that I was actually taller than he was, but I don't think I was. I think even back then I was looking him in the eye. I've had the privilege of having Nick in my classes in various social studies and Bible classes since he was in 7th grade, and we've had some good times. A lot of laughter, a lot of learning in those classes. And in high school, I am the student council teacher advisor, and I've had the privilege of working with Nick in student council. Nick has been our president in student council the last 2 years. This year, he ran unopposed, and all of his peers on student council voted unanimously for him to be president. And I think that says a lot about how he is looked up to at our school and how much his peers appreciate him.
Well, Nick, your dad and I are always proud of you. Thank you for allowing the kids to be honored today. And Nick has always been stuck with me at school because I've always worked at school where he's been, so he really couldn't get away with anything at school. And we try not to let him get away with anything at home. But he has been one of those self-motivated kids, and we've hardly had to push him into anything. Except maybe basketball, which he never wanted to play, go figure. And, but we're very proud of, he's started his own business and actually found his own jobs on the internet to be writing, and just used his natural skills, natural abilities in unique ways. And so it'll be exciting to see what he does in the years to come. Good job, buddy.
I would echo that. Nick has been a real delight for us as parents. He's self-motivated, an entrepreneur, which is great. His brother and sister, who are older, are a little bit envious at his latest job, which involves writing on a tech blog on the internet, mostly related to cell phones. And his workday starts with a cup of coffee, and he curls up with the laptop in bed and writes for a few hours, and makes pretty good money, better money than they have at this stage. So very happy for him, and he has a bright future. Thank you for this award.
Elizabeth Ladwig is the good citizen from Midland High School. She is a daughter of Catherine and Gerald Ladwig, and her school sponsor is Amy Hutchinson. As a key club member and president, Elizabeth has helped to organize blood drives and prepare meals for Midland Shelter House. As an environmental club member and president, she has helped to make her school an official Michigan Green School. Elizabeth was selected to serve as an ambassador to Taiwan for her school, and she found time to participate in lacrosse and cross country.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to thank the Daughters of the American Revolution and everyone who made this possible. I'm really honored to be recognized as someone who's kind and cares about other people, because I think that means a lot more to me than an academic or athletic recognition. So in the future, I hope to attend the University of Michigan, and I would like to study environmental science. And I also would like to continue volunteering in my community for the rest of my life. So thank you.
As an administrator, I don't often get the student contact that I used to in the classroom, but getting to know young people like Elizabeth is certainly one of the bonuses. And Mrs. Greif, our principal, is here today, and I think she would agree with that. One of Elizabeth's teachers and our International Baccalaureate coordinator, who's worked very closely with her,
wanted me to share just a few words, and one of the things she says is, Elizabeth Ladwig is truly a sincere, dedicated young person who eagerly seeks out and accepts challenges in many different avenues, but especially in the classroom. So although Elizabeth is, as all of you are, humbled to be recognized for the leadership and the kindness, it goes without saying that Elizabeth is quite a student as well. She's well-rounded, leadership, athletics, and to speak to the speaker today, Elizabeth epitomizes the concept of nice manners.
Hi, I'm Jerry Ladwig, Elizabeth's daughter. On behalf of our family, my wife Kathy, we can't express our gratitude enough, both to the Daughters of the American Revolution, to everyone that's here, to Ms. Hutchison for nominating Elizabeth, and just the experience with the Midland Public Schools. It's been fantastic, and what a proud parent moment, really. She's an amazing young lady, and she seeks out challenges wherever she can, and she really does work to make life better for everyone, and I'm thankful for that. She challenges me, and so it's good to be around someone like her, and also just glad to be here today with our future leaders. And everything I've heard about you today, I'm very proud of all of you, so thank you.
Jessica Urich is a good citizen from Midland Academy. She is the daughter of Matthew and Kathy Urich, and her sponsor is Nate Senor. Jessica has traveled on mission trips with her church and is a children's church leader. She is a captain of one of her school's CREW, Character Reflects Everyone's Worth program, a program that focuses on giving back to the community. Jessica is a leader in varsity volleyball. She is a lifetime member of Girl Scouts, and she takes time to assist people in any way she can.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and the DAR Association for this wonderful opportunity, and my parents for all they've done, and the school that I went to that really helped me just in life and with this, and showing me that what I'm capable of. When I go to college, I am planning to study law and eventually, hopefully, go into either business or patent law and join a law firm.
On our way in here, I asked Jessica 3 things she's involved with, just to make sure that it was true. Everything she gets involved with, she's the leader of. So, leader of our student council, National Honor Society. The crew program at our school is an impressive thing to lead, leading 50 young people into volunteerism. Last year I watched as her crew included our kindergarten class, which was always a joy to have in assemblies when they'd come walking in, and then leading kindergartners in volunteerism. Jessica, bravo. All of you guys, congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kathy Urich, and on behalf of myself and my husband, Matt, we're so proud of Jessica. She has always known since I think it was the age of 7 that she wanted to be a lawyer, wanted to help people. Like Rhonda, my daughter is also stuck at school with me every day, and I have the pleasure of having people stop by my office all the time saying, Jessica did this, Jessica did that. Jessica is the hardest working student we have. I wish I had 20 Jessicas. And it's a pleasure to be able to hear that, because a lot of times parents don't hear those things till conferences, and I get to hear those things on a daily basis, and she's just been a blessing. She's been one of those easy children to raise. She's always just been that motivated student. And so I'd like to thank the DAR Association, everyone for coming today, and I would just like to see you guys in 10, 20 years and see what you've accomplished, because I can't imagine what the resumes are going to look like for this group of students in 10 or 20 years. You are going to do amazing things. Thank you.
Sean Phillip Kyler is a good citizen from Windover High School. He is the son of Kathleen and Wayne Kyler. His school sponsor is Carol Berger. Sean is a creative, articulate, and capable person who has curiosity and drive. He has been Student of the Week. He has helped his church with a rummage sale. Sean is a culinary arts student who wants to go to college and train as a chef. To travel and learn about different styles of cooking, such as Russian, Asian, European, Italian, and German, from the source. And he wants to ultimately open his own restaurant.
I know I may be a little off-putting with the pink hair and all, but I do want to be a chef. It's been a dream for a long time, ever since I saw Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. What I'm planning on doing is going to Baker College, attending their excellent culinary program, eventually traveling, learning all sorts of food, because I want to spread joy and love through my food. Eventually open my own restaurant, and I also want to thank Joanne and Carol and my entire faculty. Well, not my entire faculty, my school's faculty. As you can see, I can't do speeches. For nominating me, I was flabbergasted when Carol told me. I really was. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Greg Armstead. I'm one of his faculty that he appreciates. He's every bit as bright as his hair, believe it or not. He's a fine young man. At Windover High School, we pride ourselves on making successful contributing members of the community, and he's one of them. And he does spread joy around our school and my wasteland because he's part of our culinary program, and I've gone two sides since he's been there. But I'd like to thank the DAR for this opportunity for Sean, and I expect great things from him in the future. Thank you.
I want to thank the DAR. I want to thank Windover faculty. I am so proud of him. He's always been very helpful. He tries to help anybody he can. You just got to ask him, he'll do it. And I just want to let him know I love him.
Congratulations to all of our school winners. You are an amazing group of young people. Wear your pin with pride. And now, our chapter award winner, who was selected by the judges this year, is Elizabeth Ladwig from Midland High School. Would you please read your essay?
Oh, okay. Okay. To be an American is to be part of something larger and more powerful than oneself. It is to realize that even though America is about personal liberty, it is also about being an active member of this nation as we move forward. Whether one's personal background is German, Iranian, or Chinese, as American citizens, we all share one country with one history and a future that is left to us. It is the duty of everyone who is a part of this country to remember where we have been and to contribute to where we will go. As Americans, we need to remember. We need to honor those who contributed to this country and have made it what it is today. This includes political leaders like Abraham Lincoln, who fought for the ideals of one nation. It includes activists like Susan B. Anthony, who led progression toward equality. It includes soldiers who died protecting those ideals by which we pride ourselves. As a young member of our nation, I think that more and more we forget. We forget that we are all connected to a past that includes struggles and injustice, but also freedom and progress. We say the Pledge of Allegiance in monotone voices, forgetting that liberty and justice for all came at a high cost. In order to move forward, we need to remember. Once we can remember who we are as American citizens and the progress that has been made in our country, we can contribute to the future progress of our nation. One of the beauties of this country is that we all come from different backgrounds, and thus we all have different ideas and beliefs. As a collective nation of people with different heritages, different thoughts, and different skills, we all have something to add to this country. I think that we need to have the kind of mentality that prompted John F. Kennedy's famous quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Instead of complaining about our nation's problems, we can be the solution. The youth of America will become the next great political leaders, activists, and soldiers, and we will determine the direction of our nation's future. Being a part of the American nation starts in each community. This country is based on the principles of independence and personal liberties, but this does not give us the right to be selfish. I think that often we are so busy worrying about ourselves that we forget that we are a part of something greater. By being active members of our communities, we can contribute to our nation's progress. I think that we need to genuinely care about the people around us in order to care about our country, and this can start through community service. By helping others and realizing that we are all a part of the same nation, we can make this country a better place to live in. As Americans, no matter what our background, we all share the duty of moving our country forward in a way that honors our past and brings together all citizens of this country. By understanding and caring about each other, we can realize that we all have something to contribute to this nation. Thank you.
As our chapter winner, our gift to you with our congratulations is this book entitled 1776 by David McCullough. And now, Elizabeth, if you would please stay here. It is my privilege to welcome Senator John Moolenaar, who has taken time out from his busy schedule to present special gifts to our chapter winner, Elizabeth. Senator Moolenaar.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank the Daughters of the American Revolution for inviting me year after year to participate. It's really a wonderful ceremony honoring some very special people, and I want to congratulate all of you and just say that it is just great joy to see the proud parents and the faculty at the schools honoring you, and keep up the good work. Now, the one thing I want to say is I know you aren't always as good as they said, right? There are times when you aren't as nice. And I want to just say this. One of the most difficult things for people in politics and leadership and other is when you fail to acknowledge it. Some would say confess it. I know that we have a pastor here. And ask forgiveness. And usually that even takes you to a new place. So I commend you for the citizenship, the excellent job you've done, but also when you don't do everything just right, it's okay to get a fresh start. So that's my speech. But I want to honor Elizabeth because, you know, the governor, Representative Jim Thomas, myself have a tribute from the state of Michigan. And we do this because we really, one of the roles of government is to commend those who do good. And I was struck by your talk because I know that you were an accomplished in lacrosse and cross country, a great athlete. You've done wonderful things as a leader. But what was interesting is you said that the compliments or the acknowledgement of the character qualities meant the most to you today. And to me, that is really significant because those are the kinds of qualities. As Scott Patchen, who was a few years behind me at Dow High School, playing basketball, and I would both attest our athletic abilities fade over time. Now, he may still have some of his. Mine have really faded. But those kinds of qualities are the foundation that you build on for a lifetime. And so I want to congratulate you and just compliment your parents on a job well done as well. So with this, I'd like to present you with this tribute from the state of Michigan signed by the governor, which highlights a number of your accomplishments as well as the qualities that have led you to this honor.
Thank you. Can I get one more?
Sure, sure. And I also have a flag from the state of Michigan for you as well. So congratulations, and again, well done to you and to everyone here. So.
Thank you, Senator Moolenaar, for coming again to the DAR Good Citizen Recognition Program. We appreciate your busy schedule, because I know you were downtown with would you like to say a few words about, because DAR has contributed to that?
And I just want to say, for those of you, the reason I was late today is there was a ceremony at the courthouse where the new Veterans Memorial, and it is outstanding, just fantastic. And one of the things that was interesting that you mentioned, Henry Hart was the speaker. Judge Hart, who many of you have known over the years, was very instrumental in helping to promote that as Veterans Memorial, and he was not able to be at the ceremony because of his health concerns. But it is something that, you know, you can look there, you can see people who have served our community and our country, and those who have been lost, but it's really a wonderful award. Thank you for your leadership on that.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and helping us celebrate this special day with these outstanding students. So we will now adjourn to enjoy refreshments and greet our good citizens, their parents, and sponsors. And thank you all for coming.